Chris Maxwell of the Sports Philanthropy Network here with 8-year NFL veteran and quite honestly, a true inspiration to so many athletes and non-athletes, Kyle Turley. Kyle, you have one of the most powerful stories in sports when it comes to former athletes who, from at least my experience, getting to talk to a lot of NFL alumni and coaches, I'm seeing this shift where these big, tough men are now oh so vulnerable, talking talking about their mental health and
Yeah,
things that affect really everyone. For you, it was a little bit shaky of a transition to what I like to call civilian life. So,
right.
being out for so long now, reflect just on that initial time of when you retired and before even getting into the true mental health aspect, just no longer being that
Sure.
star athlete.
Yeah, I mean, it's a transition, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't think anybody's prepared for it. At the end of the day, you come from such a regimented life, something that, had all of these things around it that built community to then now you're out in the real world and there's really no accountability. There's no, on time. There's no, you just lose yourself completely because you're so used to this regimented lifestyle and pursuing goals. And so post football, post military, all these issues that people deal with, or even general public, I mean, people suffer. That's my thing, is to try to really relate to everybody, and anybody can have something happen in their life that completely changes their life, right? And whether that's an accident or a divorce or anything, right? Your life now is upended and you have to go find yourself again. Where can you find those solutions to be able to help you do that? And for too long as athletes, we're preyed upon, unfortunately, by the pharmaceutical industry, and that didn't help me find who I was post football career. It really masked all those things and took me to a real dark place that fortunately took me to where I am today, and that's in finding the resolutions that work.
And I think that's you bring up this the pharmaceutical company CTE. It's a hot button word, right? But a lot of fans they might just think, oh, it's from being tackled, it's from hitting your head, it's from concussions, and that's true. But one of the things that you did, at least that again sticks with me, is you were very vocal about the drugs that were being pushed on you as an athlete, the Toradol injections,
Yeah,
the Ambien for the long flights, the things that normal people would not do to their bodies to help
sure.
these little aches and pains. So that withdrawal period coming from having access, having them being pushed at you to now trying to find those vices, how did that affect you mentally, not even just the physical aspect of that withdrawal, but trying to find that balance in finding healthy mechanisms?
Yeah, I still deal with it to this day. I mean, this disease is not regressive; it's a progressive disease. People say, "Oh, you look great," all these things, but this is a lot of smoke and mirrors, because we constantly have to deal with these issues. These are real issues. So, what do you use to deal with these? Unfortunately, it was pharmaceuticals, and those things are really harmful. I was just in the hospital a month ago because I had another episode where I passed out of nowhere and I had a minor seizure, and I don't know what's going on because this brain disease is very real and these things continue to happen. There'll be days when I can't stop my hands from shaking, right? And guys are getting diagnosed with Parkinson's disease and ALS and all these other things at these levels because of the damage we participated in this amazing sport, right? We go out there and bang our bodies around and our brains are taking this damage that we really didn't understand. CTE, unfortunately, is still this question. As I'm laying in the hospital bed, the doctor, who's a neurologist, is saying to me, you might want to consider that you might have this disease, CTE. And I was just started laughing. I was like, she's like, why are you laughing? I was like, do you want me to? I have on speed dial Bennett Omalu, Ann McKee, Robert Cantu, Chris Nowinski, all these people. I did a whole series on Vice about what's going on in our game, and we're still here, right? We're still here. I found true resolutions that work, and I'm trying to advance those as much as possible to see where they go. My new company, Power Plant Depot, powerplantdepot.com. We're going to continue to expose these things, right? And plant-based opportunities, because why? It speaks to your body. We have an endogenous cannabinoid system. It's the number one regulatory system in the human body. And yet I was given Depakote, and even still laying in a hospital bed a month ago was almost persuaded to go back on these drugs, Depakote, Zoloft, and Wellbutrin. I mean, I almost killed myself on these drugs. It was very real. And as soon as I got off of them, I didn't think about these things anymore. And then finding the resolutions in cannabis that I've found, and now all of the mushroom, psilocybin, ibogaine, all of these things are very real that unfortunately, all these people out here that served in the military, have these experiences in football of having to deal with all these traumas are exposing when the science community really needs to do that.
And is that almost a point of frustration to you? Because obviously the laws around cannabis have changed so much since you were playing.
Yeah.
We know active NFL players are partaking, whether recreationally or to help them with the pain. But then you still see these stories of these athletes getting hurt and they should be out for a game, but all of a sudden they're
Yeah.
able to come back in. And I'm sure you know in the back of your mind, oh, they just went and got that Toradol shot. Does
Yeah.
it anger you that you know that there are healthier options? And the NFL still has a lot of gray area with that they really haven't embraced this. I don't want to say new because it's not new, but this more
Sure.
accepted form of healthcare.
Yeah, it's really sad to hear the stories of guys because I still train kids. I'm getting kids prepared for the NFL, coaching kids from the NFL because I still coach and I'm in the gym all the time. And you still hear the stories of the pills being prescribed, the needles being injected. But what I'm also hearing is real promising. These players are taking proactive approaches towards using cannabis, mushrooms, and all these things. And it's happening. The transition of players understanding how their bodies work and listening to what we're saying is really happening. It's really awesome to hear that. And people hopefully, Vice wouldn't do a story I did on a kid. Daniel Franco was a boxer. I woke him up out of a coma. They refused to do the story. They're going to refuse to do the story on Tua and all the information that Tua's now gotten from people like myself and others around him trying to reach him that have exposed the opportunity he can have in cannabis to not have to get knocked out anymore because it's a neuroprotectant. And once we understand these things and we can move past all the semantics at the end of the day and what Roger Goodell thinks or even Alan Sills thinks, because Alan Sills, the chief medical officer of the National Football League, told me I was right in a meeting in front of the entire medical board of the NFL and that it would just take time. Well, the time is now. And they need to acknowledge this. We've got RFK in position now with Trump. Hopefully these things can advance. The Farm Bill's been extended for another year. The Hemp Act is going to push things forward in a massive way from Rand Paul. And the people are going to take this whole thing back because unfortunately the science community is not giving us the truth. And they need to start doing that because the resolutions are there and people can enjoy great lives. NFL players can have longer careers, and then the transition afterwards, moving into the real world, can actually occur for you. It's not a question. You start to remember, oh, I wanted to do this with my life. Oh, I was this person. Oh, man, that's right. I can get it back. This whole thing is not just who I am.
Well, I thank you for your advocacy and for speaking out and being vocal. We've seen so much progress when it comes to brain health in the NFL with concussions being at a historic low, but we know there's still a long way to go. So please go to Plant Depot, Power Plant
PowerPlantDepot.com.
Depot.
That's right.
Check it out. But thank you so much for your
Thank you
vulnerability, your honesty, and for continuing to bring awareness to these issues that
so much.
athletes and everybody else face. So thank you, Kyle.
Thank you as well. It's amazing what y'all do. Thank you guys so much. Tune in to the Philanthropy Sports Network. That's a big word to say. And always continue to support what it is people are doing to make lives better.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you.